staff are committed to empowering you with practical skills that will elevate your performance and propel your success to new heights. So, and additionally, we are super honored to feature a keynote address today by Realtor.com. The national speaker is Angie Javier, and she's going to be providing valuable insight into the art of storytelling and the transformative power of video in amplifying your brand presence. So, before we get started, a special note of super appreciation to our dedicated staff and our visionary leader, our CEO, Annie Ives, for their tireless efforts in putting together this exceptional event. So their commitment to fostering education and innovation has made our MLS Madness a reality. So let the learning adventure begin. We hope you enjoy every moment of MLS Madness today. Thank you very much for coming.
Sorry, Kelly, you're muted there.
Thank you all. Thank you. Christy, thank you so much for that. You've been an amazing president to work with this year. I don't know how you fit everything in, so thank you. And moving on to our event, a little housekeeping. Each topic's going to be about 10 minutes, speed training style. So have some energy. We're going to go, go, go. And the recording will be emailed to you after the event if you missed anything. You can find the agenda in the chat. Chat's down there at the bottom of your screen. Type any questions you have into the Q&A section, and Anthony will be monitoring all of your questions, and we will do our best to get to them. In some cases, we may get to your questions at the end. Have fun. And let's get started. Next, our schedule, the next item is Vesta Plus Pro, and we're going to have Usman Mella give us an update as to our mobile app.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the first motion of the presentation. So I will go over the Vesta Plus Pro app. I will introduce some of the features, also give you an update as to where we're at with some of the upcoming features, as well as what to expect in the upcoming months. So as we mentioned, we recently launched on Android. So this platform is now available within the Android store as well as the iOS store. So many of you have been using it. For those of you who have not, this will be a great introduction, and also hopefully give you an idea of what to expect in the mobile app experience. So here I'm logged in. If you all can see my screen, it's similar to what you expect in other mobile app search tools, but here I can see a list of my pins. I can see various price points, as well as some badges and color coordination. So from a look and feel standpoint, you should see a somewhat similar experience to what you're seeing on the mobile on the desktop, and you'll see a lot of those consistencies, as well as information which comes from the same database. So you can expect the same speed as well as thoroughness of information, but in a scaled mobile format. So just some basic navigation. You can see as I can pan around, I can use my tools that I would use with another app. I can pan, I can move around, I can zoom in. So as I recalibrate and look at my visual aspect of the map, I can also now tab on any of the pins. As I look at any of the pins, I'm given brief information on the listing. I can see my basic introduction to my photos, as well as a overview of the property. So within the preview, I can slide between my app photos. You can see it's going to be a slideshow type of left and right navigation. And from here, I can also perform a couple other functions as an agent. If I decide I want to interact with a property, recommend this to a client, I can go ahead and tap the recommend button at the top right, and when I do that, I'm given the ability to recommend this to a contact. So if I decide I want to recommend this to a contact, I'll come into my contact list, and from here I can select a contact to recommend this property to. So I can I'll select a recommendation. And once I've recommended that property, that recommendation is now sent to the client, and they receive an alert saying this property has been recommended to you. And at that point, they can interact with it, see it. They can decide if they want to favorite it, but it really starts that conversation between the client and agent. Other basic tools that you may be used to, you have the ability to use a draw function, so similar to what you do on desktop, but now of course you're using your hands. So here you can draw a shape, and you can also grab whatever area from a visual standpoint that you want. I'm just going to go ahead and clear that shape for the time being. Similarly, besides searching by shape, I can search by area, I can search by address. The same inputs that you would input into the desktop side would be available within the mobile app experience. So as I start to refine my search, as I start to build upon that, I can also layer that on with filters. If I tap on my filters again, similar fields, they may be optimized to, to give you an idea, the ability to interact with the most commonly used ones up at the top. Obviously, price, beds, bats, property type are kind of the go-to initially, but as you scroll down, you'll see the color coding here, which corresponds to our pins. But you can interact with your statuses. You can select your listing type, various features. You can set date ranges as well. So as you go through here, I encourage you, if you haven't already, to get familiar with the search terms and see how you can refine that and interact with that. And of course, any of the searches that you create or save on the mobile will be available on the desktop, and vice versa. If you do save a desktop search, you can also load it within the mobile experience as well. If I do decide this is a search that, hey, I do want to save, I'll set some terms. I'll make it a little more realistic. I can go. So if I decide this is a search term that I do decide I want to save, I can go ahead and click the save button, and that will allow me to, name the search, whatever whatever terms that I would as well. I can go ahead and select that. I can decide if I want to save it for a contact or myself. If that's the case, the options will reflect that selection. And then from here, it's up to you to determine the frequency and the notification types that you're wanting to receive. And again, if it's for your contact, similar type of experience, you would be selecting your contact and then setting up those initial notification preferences. And again, because this is a safe search that's shared, if you do save it for a contact, then you'll again have that ability to interact with it in a common way with your client. So the client will see this on their end as well. They'll be able to load the safe search. If they do decide to make any adjustments to it, you will both have that ability to receive notifications. So that unified experience of what your client is seeing and what you're seeing starts to unveil and show itself. So from there, you'll see again and I'll go into this shortly, but you'll be able to see more details around your client's interactions as well. So here I've got the safe search loaded. If I decide I do want to keep it, I can make any adjustments I want. Also, I can clear it and just recenter my search. Anything that I did see in a map view, as I'm seeing here, I can also look at it in a list view. So similar to other experiences you may see in other apps, here you're seeing listing cards, you're seeing some of the basic details up on the main card. Here I can see there's a new property. Will indicate through badges and color coding, as well as other features that may have been interacted with, such as I can see I've recommended this in the past. The blue fill-in on the recommend is available to see. If I do decide I want to look at the property a little further, I can also tap into the property. I can look at the detail report of this. And again, this has been formatted over the course of the last few months into a refined look and feel, although we try to keep as much information as possible. Again, we've taken into account that it is a mobile device, so you'll see some sections may be expandable. So it's really up to you guys to kind of come in here, look at what's available, as well as really get down to seeing all those necessary details by using the expand function if needed. You see the listing information, the listing agent information as well. So here I can, again, interact with the agent. And this is, again, from the agent side. So the client side would be a little bit different. I'm not going to get into that too much today out of the interest of time. But as an agent, I can also see a little bit more details on the agent as well. So, it allows me the ability to quickly see what brokerage they're a part of. If I need to interact with them through communication, if I need to email or to call or text them, that's readily available. And then it also gives me an insight into their profile as well as their inventory. So you do have some options here to start that communication if needed. Furthermore, you'll see other details around the showing information, as well as property and mortgage and ownership history as well as links to, if needed, to like, for example, for public or for APN information, I can also tap the hyperlink to pull up that information as well. A lot of the common elements too, you'll see the share buttons here up at the top right. That's you can always interact with this. You can pull up the ability to share this particular listing. You can text it. You can use your contact list by tapping more, pulling up your contact list, or you can use your internal email system as well, or just copy the link. A couple more things that I'm going to show you. A big feature here for us is going to be the activity. So this is really where you're going to be getting updates on all of your saved searches, anything that your clients have favorited. So on just an initial glance, I can see it's filtered by my searches, but I have all of my contacts that I've created saved searches for, or that have active activity. They've favorited properties. They've created saved searches. They're receiving notifications on those as well, according to their preferences. But here I can really see, based on any of my contacts, any activity that they're receiving based on their saved searches or favorites will also be displayed here. So a great way to see what your contacts are seeing, what they're receiving, and a great way to kind of start those conversations around, hey, why are they looking at certain properties? Or once you've recommended a property and they've also perhaps favorited it, or they've started to interact with that property more, this is really a great starting point to get you to get that insight into your client's behavior. I'm just going to tab over to the bottom right tab, the More tab. So here I have quick access to all my saved searches. Again, I can see any of my saved searches that I've created, as well as that maybe have been created by my contacts. So here I can also, again, and there's going to be some indicators kind of in the interest of space, as well as being able to display the information. So some of the keys and icons will be related to that. So I can see briefly here that this was the safe search I just created for a contact. I created it as the agent, so that gives me my agent icon. I created it on mobile, so I can see it's got my mobile indicator there, and I see some brief details on that. I can load it, of course, and interact with that safe search as needed. I am going to go back to my contact list now. So here I can see any of my contacts that I have added to the system. Again, this is a common database, so anything that I see in my any contact that I have on my desktop will also be available here, vice versa. I can interact with some of the basics here as well. If I once the contact has, been invited to the dashboard, as well as they start interacting with the system as well, I'm going to be able to see, their activity as well as what their their structure of work in a few different ways. So here I can see, I did recommend a property, as you saw earlier. I recommended a property, so I can see the property that was recommended. But in a very kind of brief overview, I'm also going to see other things that the client has been doing. So, okay, I can see here the client has favorited properties. And a lot of these badges that I'm displaying and that you're seeing, the heart, the recommend, various things, you'll see consistent across various places of the app. And that's really going to be kind of your starting point, as well as your ability to see, okay, what I've seen, but in a consolidated space, I can see what my client has been interacting with here. I can also just view their activity. Again, it takes me back to their activity screen, but I can come in and also interact with, their activity. So a lot of these common elements will be consistent across the experience. There's other small things I'm not going to talk too much about, but you'll kind of get an experience within the app as well. So you'll see, which safe search this applies to. You'll see certain common things. I see which of my items have been favorited, but I'm also receiving activity on. But a lot of this experience is really going to be within the confines of the app, but it'll be consistent across multiple platforms. So whether you're on your iPad, whether you're on your desktop, you'll have access to the same information. But the key is to come in here, start playing with it, start getting a feel for it, and then as you build upon your interactions, you'll see you'll hopefully be able to use this as a great way to interact with, manage, and really have those interactions with your client. So okay. So with that said, I will let you guys know that there's this is available in the Android store. It is available in the iOS store as well. So as we release new features, I would encourage you guys to play around with this as much as possible. Send us your feedback. We're always looking to have more participants included with our focus group as well. We take all of that feedback very seriously, and we love to hear what you guys prioritize to kind of see coming up in the next upcoming months.
Great.
And with that said, I would like to end my portion.
Great. Thank you, Usman. I love playing with the app. I think it's great. So keep working on it. Everybody, we're going to move on to market reports now with Jose.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So today we're going to be looking at Neighborhood Snapshot. Neighborhood Snapshot is a tool you can use to pull up different market statistics on different locations and areas. So let me go ahead and share my screen now, and let's take a look at Neighborhood Snapshot. All right. So if everybody can see my screen, you can see that I'm logged in as into the MLS Vista Plus. And so there's different ways to access the Neighborhood Snapshot. Like I said, Neighborhood Snapshot is where you can go ahead and pull up different analytics or statistics for different locations, including like map areas that you have saved on the Vista Plus. Now, to access the MLS, the Neighborhood Snapshot, you can go under the MLS products and services, and you can see that there you have a option there to access Neighborhood Snapshot. But we also have a portlet directly on the home page where you can go ahead and run Neighborhood Snapshot and pull up the different statistics and analytics. Now, you can pull up to 5 different locations. You can put up to 5 different areas, 5 different cities, zip codes, or subdivisions. And as you can see here, I already started by adding a couple of areas there. In here, you can also add what year you want to pull up the statistics for. You can go back up to 12 years back, and then you can go ahead and select the year you want. You can also select what timeline. You can select the first quarter, second quarter, or you can select individual months just by clicking on the months you wish to pull up the analytics. Then you have the property type, what kind of property types you wish to pull up the analytics for. And we also included now an option to include comp only listings. These are properties that sold off the MLS that were never included in the MLS. So you can go ahead and include statistics for those kind of properties as well by checking that box. Next to the run report button, there's a little statistics criteria button where you can add more criteria, where you can put in a specific price range or square footage, or narrow it down to a specific criteria. So once you go ahead and add your criteria, we can go ahead and click on create report. This is going to go ahead and generate the statistics and pull the statistics for the criteria you've entered. Once that's pulled up, you'll be able to see all the different analytics that you can see. So in the neighborhood snapshot report, on the top, you see your criteria again. So if you need to make some changes, you don't need to go back and just make those changes at the top here and just update the report. But here you're going to see there's different analytics depending on what you want to see. You can go ahead and click on the different statistics here on the left side, the different points that you can pull up, where you have active listings, sold listings, pending, and days on market. You'll be able to see that some of these analytics will allow you to pull up like the average or the median for the selected analytics. And now you'll be able to see the data on the graph depending on what you selected. You can just go ahead and hover over the graph and you'll be able to see the actual data, the information for the individual months that you pulled up, depending on your timeline. And you can go ahead and view the different data by just hovering on top of the graph. Now, you can also view, included in the report is to compare to previous years. You can compare to 1 year, 3 years, or up to 5 years right here on the upper right corner. And this will allow you to compare the data that you've selected on the comparing section. So if you want to see what and compare, like, for example, the sold price, now this is going to go ahead and pull up the comparing information for the sell price. If you select days on market, then this is going to go ahead and compare the average or the median days on market, depending on what you've selected. You can switch between a bar graph, which is the graph on the top right corner here, but you can also switch to a line graph if you want a more visual view of what's the market going up, down, depending on the statistics you selected. You also can go ahead and switch between the data that you see on the graph to either monthly, or you can roll back 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months back, depending on what you select. So if you select, for example, rolling 3 months, the data that you're going to see on the graph now is 3 months worth of data from what you're looking at on the graph. So as you scroll down, after the comparing information, you'll be able to see the market details. And the market details is basically the information that's on the graph. But when you print the report, you'll be able to see that data on a printed paper. So the market details, you'll see that information, the data for each area that you've entered in your search. Now, there's also some pro features that you can unlock by subscribing to the pro options. On the very top, you see that there's report, flyer, and embed. These are part of the pro features when you unlock the pro features. And what it consists of, it's the same data, it's just the way it looks. Like, for example, the report option. This will allow you to view the data for each area that you've entered. You'll see that it will include the map of the area or the location. You see the data that was on the graph itself. Now it's available for you right there. You'll be able to see the different data. You can also pull up the previous information for, like, compared to like previous year. You just by clicking compare last year, then you'll be able to see the data for that area that we're looking at. So in this example, I have Beverly Hills selected, and this will show me the difference to the previous year. So since I selected 2023 as my criteria, this is going to compare to 2022 or the previous year. And so now you see the difference changes to the previous year on the different data that we're looking at. You can go and scroll through them and you see now a graph. Now you be able to see what's the data for the active and pending listings, and then the sold listings, where you can see that information. And in the report, as you scroll down, you're going to see the top 20 listings or sold. See all the sold listing report option you have with the pro feature is the flyer, and the flyer will allow you create like the same data, but in a single page where you can go ahead and print this out and have all the data in a single page when you print this out. And it'll show you the top 20, starting with the highest sold price and work its way down with the top 20. And you can go ahead and switch between the different areas that you've entered. If you want to go ahead and look like now at Brentwood, I can go ahead and click on Brentwood. This will now go ahead and load the data for that area or whichever location that you've selected. And the last feature with the Pro option is the embed option, where you can go ahead and embed this information, all this data on your personal website. So if you have like a website that you own and you want to include all this information through your website, you can just go ahead and click on the embed option. That's going to go ahead and generate a HTML code where you can just go ahead and copy and paste that code onto your website, and anybody that will go to your website will have that information directly on your website. So you can configure the neighborhood snapshot. You can select which reports or which options you want to include on your website, what areas you want to include, and then just go ahead and click on generate and copy this code right here directly onto your website. So those are all part of the Pro features, the report, flyer, and the embed option. Now, how do you unlock the Pro feature? So if you are a Realtor member, all you got to do is go back to the neighborhood snapshot on the homepage, and you see right here, there's a link right above the portlet that says click here to upgrade. This will go ahead and take you to where you can go ahead and subscribe to Neighborhood Snapshot Pro. There's two different plans. You can set up for a monthly payment plan or the annual plan. You can just select which plan you want to use. So click select plan, enter your email to register. Once you hit next, then that's going to go ahead and ask you for your credit card information. We do provide a 14-day free trial period if you haven't used that 14-day free trial. It's going to go ahead and allow you to use the Pro features for 14 days. And after that, it'll go ahead and charge your credit card you've entered here. Now you can cancel at any time, but I believe the Pro features are a great tool to use. Now, if you're not a Realtor member, this is a Realtor member feature that we just went through. But if you're not a Realtor member, you can also sign up for Neighborhood Snapshot just by logging into your homepage, and under MLS products and services, just go ahead and locate Neighborhood Snapshot and just click on Neighborhood Snapshot, and then you can go ahead and subscribe to Neighborhood Snapshot. Even if you're not a Realtor member, you have access to this. Again, just select which plan you want to sign up with, and then just follow the instructions. So that is a Neighborhood Snapshot. Any questions?
Great. Thank you, Jose. People have also been putting questions into the Q&A area of Zoom. So thank you for that. We've been answering them as we go along. And so Angela, you asked questions about the Pro. Hopefully that all makes sense now. And Angela also wanted to know if there are one-on-one training options available for the Pro features, or what's the best way to get the people watching today trained. We do office trainings, things like that. Jose, any one-on-one answers?
Yes, we do provide in-office training. By schedule, you can schedule that. We do have webinars as well. Those are free. You just sign up for the webinars, and you can learn more about the Neighborhood Snapshot and the Pro features. And if you want a one-on-one training, go ahead and reach out to me, and we can talk about that.
Great. And Marco Rufo's doing some great webinars as well on how he uses the tool, which was really well received last month. And I believe we're doing another one. So watch for all the great new training on that. And there are a few more questions, but they're all going to get answered. Anthony's doing a great job, and Jonathan answering in line there. Okay, so let's get on to the fun spinning the wheel. It's time to see who our lucky winner is for a $25 Amex gift card. And I'm going to let Anthony spin this for me. Let's go, and you're all entered. Thank you for registering and joining us today, folks. Hugh Williams. Okay, so we will contact you afterwards and get you your gift card. Congratulations. All righty. So next up, now all of a sudden I can't see my agenda. Hold on one moment. All right, so we're going to move right along into how to search public record data and MLS data at the same time with Search Plus, and Jonathan is going to lead that.
Okay, yeah, thank you guys. So let's just jump right into it. Let me go ahead and share my screen here and take you into our latest search offering, which is Search Plus. So really excited to show you kind of what we've been working on since the last Madness event and just give you an idea of exactly what is Search Plus. So Search Plus is kind of our latest search tool that has taken the elements of the listing search and thrown in a public record feature on top of it to provide a unified comprehensive search where you can not only access MLS data, but you're able to access public record data alongside that and kind of compare them alongside each other without having to swap screens or move between different tabs. It's all consolidated into one very simple and easy to use search feature. So we can kind of just jump right in here. You can access Search Plus already by clicking on Search from the top of the menu bar and selecting Search Plus. So you can see it's in beta. There's still a lot of features here that we are going to be rolling out in the next coming months. But let's show you kind of what we have right now. And we're going to start with the search bar. So the very first top, on the top left here, there's a search bar where you can enter any area, any city, subdivision, zip code that you want to search for, and add it to your search criteria. On top of that, you can also find any property by address, by MLS number, or APN number. So here, for example, type in an address, it will find any matches that are found. Let me just type in a address I know of. And it will present options not only from the MLS, but if we wanted to really get more information about where the property is itself and some information, we have access to public record where we can find public record data on this property. So this is just one of the ways that we're able to kind of unify the experience and provide two options for an agent when they're running their searches so that you can get as much information as possible from this property, from these properties. Next to the search bar, you have access to these quick filters where you can provide criteria like property type, statuses, price, beds and baths. Now you'll notice that in the status, we include a option for public records. So we actually can select two different sets of public record data. When you select the box here for public record, and I'll just go ahead and put in an area so we can limit our search a bit, and we can kind of see these pop up and visually appear on the map. So what public record does is it gives you either all of the public record data that is found based on your search criteria and a certain time frame that we default to. And on top of that, we can also extract from that public record data properties that were sold but never listed on the MLS. And this is what we call sold off MLS. What this means is it's able to identify properties that have a recorded sale from public record but do not have a matching MLS listing. So this means it could have been maybe a private sale, maybe it was a a pocket listing, deed transfer, whatever it might have been. These are just properties that have never been listed on the MLS. So now we're able to actually see these properties on the MLS and compare them and have where this really helps is having a much more comprehensive CMA, comparable market analysis search that you can run and identify any properties. Maybe it's an area that has a lot of pocket listings. With Search Plus, you're now able to bring those in and add them to your reports and compare them. So there's also a filters button where you get access to all of the filters that you normally see on the listing search. And then if you scroll down to the bottom of this filter form, you'll see filters that are for just the public record your public record results. So here we can filter it out by the owner name. We can even provide options for mortgage amount, home valuations, whether it's owner occupied or absentee owner. If you're looking for distressed properties, you can find that there, or certain deed types. So this will help you filter out all these public record results that you can see here. Now, when you're looking at the results, you can see that we have a toggle for viewing the viewing only the MLS data. So if you want to view, and let me just change this here so we can get a side by side. So if you want to view only the MLS data, you have options there. If you want to switch over to your public record data, you can see them in this gallery view. We have a gallery view. We also provide a list view. So you can switch between this list where it gives you more of our one-line type of report for both the MLS data and the public record data. You can also expand this out. So if you want to see more of this data, more of the columns, you can view these this way. Now, on top of that, you can get more details about each of these properties by clicking on any of these listings, any of your results to bring up our all-in-one report. I won't go into this right now. Our next presenter will be covering that report. So let's just go through some of the new features that we've added to Search Plus that can help with your search and even provide some insights into the neighborhood. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. Let me just remove the public record data, and we'll just be focusing on this MLS data. So one of the ways that we have added some more information for the agents is within our map tools. So within tools now, we have this feature called local maps that will provide heat maps based on unique characteristics that maybe you're looking for based on maybe the needs or the wants of your clients. So let's say you have a client that wants to be near an area with a lot of schools or daycares, or maybe they like coffee shops and they like a quiet area. So we have all these different characteristics that we can use to provide a heat map. So for example, here, let's just select grocery stores as one of these items, that I want to view. So here on the map, you can see there's a heat map that comes up that represents just how closely of a match based on the characteristics I selected that these properties or this area would be for my client's needs. So red meaning that it's not a great match. There's very few options there based on what I want. Green means that there's very likely for me to be near a grocery store and it's actually a really good area for my particular needs. The great thing about this is I can combine it with multiple heat maps. So I can overlay a lot of them on top of each other. So if I need grocery stores, but I also want it to be quiet, and I also need it to be close to restaurants, you can see here I can combine all three of those and the heat map updates accordingly. So this really gives you an idea if you're really searching for, if you have a really, if you have a working with a client, they have really specific needs or they want really to be really close to amenities, certain types of areas or neighborhoods that they're looking for. Local maps is one way that you'll be able to kind of help yourself identify, especially if you're not very familiar with an area. You can kind of help yourself with these heat maps. One other feature that we've also added, and I'll just clear that out and switch it back over to the gallery now, is within our filters, we have a new category here called Lifestyle Match Score. What this does is it uses some of the same characteristics that you saw in the map tool, and this time it applies a rating to each of the properties you're looking at in your search results to see how closely of a match that particular property is based on these items. So again, I'll select something that I want to be something that's pedestrian friendly, something that's nearby. Let's do coffee shops, and I want it to be very vibrant. So I can select these three options. I can go and view my results. And now let me switch it back to the gallery. But what you'll see here is that each property will have this little rating that you see next to it that provides you an idea of how closely of a match this property is based on your characteristics that you selected. So here you can see I have some 6s that I can look at. If I scroll down, you'll start to notice I have some other options, like this 4 is not as much of a match to my needs. This 2 is very low. And if I click on the gallery cards here, you'll also see it on the gallery cards. So this is one way that we're able to kind of give you a little bit more insight into the neighborhood. Again, if you're dealing with clients, you want to make the best recommendations to them, and suggest things that you know they're going to like. Maybe they need schools that are more important for them. Maybe having a vibrant area is more important. So we're able to take information about the neighborhood, about the area, and provide these ratings, as you can see here from this view. Now, last couple of things I want to mention is you can obviously share any of this information. So you can select these listings, you can share it, and we have the same share methods that you're familiar with on the listing search. So you can share via email, via text, or via copy of link. And what you're doing is you'll be sharing our all-in-one report, which again, we'll get into in just a second. But that's where you're able to share. Coming soon, what we're working on next will be the ability to save these searches. So you'll have the chance to save your search criteria, receive notifications, and compare all that information within the Search Plus system. So everything else that you can see here, we have access to your shapes. Your drawn shapes are available. We have other tools like layers, parcels, and explore. And again, this is still in beta, so we're still taking in a lot of your feedback. So feel free to go in here, play around with it, let us know what you think, and let us know how much time it saves you, because the main emphasis of this is that you're no longer needing to go back and forth between the MLS and public records. Now you have one area where you can get that public record data and compare it to the MLS side by side. So that's pretty much it for Search Plus. I'll move it on to our next presenter. Thank you guys, and we'll see you at our next, yeah, I'll talk to you again soon.
All righty. Thank you, Jonathan. Before we move into the all-in-one report with Jose, I just wanted to remind everybody that we send out newsletters every week, generally midweek, and that's where you will see links to the different trainings that Marco is going to do on Neighborhood Snapshot, or whether it's other webinars, updates about the app. So please check those emails, at least scroll through them quickly, and you'll see lots of good tidbits there. All righty, moving right along, Jose.
All right, thank you so much, Kelly. All right, let's take a look at that new report all in one that Jonathan just mentioned. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, so when you are looking in Search Plus and you click on a property, you saw that it pulls up the all-in-one report. But there's also another way to access the all-in-one report through your regular search. As you see right here on my screen, I ran a quick search for Beverly Hills and I got a couple of results. But to access the all-in-one report from this section, all you do is go into the reports menu on the top right corner and you see the first option is all-in-one. Just click on all-in-one. It'll go ahead and take you to the all-in-one report. To save myself some time, I already loaded. And so here you see the all-in-one report. You see there's two different views. We have the detailed view and the gallery view. So right now I'm currently in the gallery view where you have the listing results on the left, but I can switch to just a detailed view and that'll hide the listings from the left and just focus on the report itself. You also have the option to switch between an agent view and a client view. Again, the client view will hide any information that's like agent remarks and showing remarks and stuff like that. And or you can always go back between the agent and client view. You can also customize the all-in-one report. By clicking the customize report at the top, you can go ahead and select and customize it to your needs, to your liking, right? So you can go ahead and select if you want to show all the data, all the fields, or show only the fields with data included. You can also select which sections of the report you want to include. You can go ahead and unselect any sections that you don't want to include in the report. You can also switch between how you want the public records to be seen. Like Jonathan mentioned, the all-in-one report includes both public records and MLS data, all in, hence the name all-in-one. So it's a report that includes public records and MLS data. So depending on how you want the public records to be seen, we include a badge, or you can include the public records in italic and differentiate that from the MLS data. And you can also arrange in which order you want each information, the data, to show up. You can go in here just by dragging and dropping in the order that you want them to appear. Like maybe I want the neighborhood information to appear right here in the top. You can move that up and down. And all you do is just click on the save settings. So you can customize this report to your needs, to your liking. So once you do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the actual report and what it consists of. So at the very top, you see all the photos. You can go and scroll through the photos and just view all the photos for that the selling agent added on the listing. And as you scroll down, you'll be starting to see the actual data, the information. You have the price, the address, MLS number, and all that details. But one thing that I do want to show is that the photos, if you need to see the map location, here right next or right below the photo, you see like there's an option to view the map. And this will replace the photos and show you the map location right above. So if you can switch between photos and the map view or location by clicking that icon. Now, as we scroll down, you see all the details on the listing itself. And you see that we've broken down the data, the remarks, right? So we have the public remarks, agent remarks, driving directions, and all the different details. You can show all remarks if you want, if you prefer that view, and just open up all the different instructions and remarks. As we scroll down, you'll start seeing more information. You'll see the agent's details, who's a selling agent and all that. Now you see that we have now different sections. So now you can see on the right side, you can navigate and jump to the different sections. But you'll see that some of the information that comes from public records will have a badge next to it. So like, for example, here, tax information. So you see the badge PR, meaning that this information is pulled from public records. And now there might be some fields that have both public records and MLS data. So to differentiate the difference, you'll see the badge that PR meaning public records, MLS means that data was entered by the selling agent. So you'll see something like that. Like for example, here we have year built, MLS badge meaning that the agent entered this information, and PR meaning that this data came from directly from public records. So that's how you'll be able to see the difference between the data. So here's a good example when it comes to bedrooms. So MLS, the selling agent entered that this was a 3 bedrooms property, but public records has it recorded as 2 bedrooms. So maybe an addition was made that public records hasn't been updated yet. But so you can scroll down, you can see the both information from public records and MLS at the same time. Now, like I mentioned, you can go ahead and jump to different sections here on the left side on the right side of the report, just by clicking on any section you want to jump to. Maybe you want to go ahead and view ownership history. You can go ahead and just click on ownership history, and that will go ahead and jump and take you to the section, and you can see that information. So you can jump around and view the different details. But one of the features that's included in the all-in-one report is that neighborhood information, which Jonathan just showed you on the Search Plus. It's also included in the all-in-one report. So if you could jump to neighborhood information, this will now go ahead and show us the neighborhood profiles, the different profiles for that where this property is located. So we have the transportation, and then you'll be able to see that same heat map in the all-in-one report, and you can go ahead and select the different information that you want to see by just clicking on these right here. So like, how walkable, and it tells you that score, and then also it explains. And you can also use the heat map by zooming in. And if you want to see, you can move the map around as well and see. So in the heat map, you can see where this neighborhood is by that outline, and you can go ahead and click on any of these options there and see that information. But you can also load, if you want to go ahead and load the other profiles, you can go ahead and just click, like, for example, services. If you want to go ahead and see the services, and then you'll be able to see like if it's transit friendly, if it's different characteristics or different information from the neighborhood profile or neighborhood information, and then character as well, where you can see the different information for the neighborhood. Okay, so that's also included on the all-in-one report. Now, as you scroll down on the all-in-one report, you'll be able to see the different information, all the different details. Also included in the all-in-one report is the estimated value feature that is provided by Plunk. And this will allow you to see what's the estimated value for that property. Now, they use different analytics and different information to pull this data. They do like, what's recently sold around the neighborhood and what's currently on the market. Based on that information, this is where they pull up that the estimated value. So estimated value is also included in the all-in-one report. So again, remember, if you don't want to use this or provide this information, you can just customize the report, uncheck any of these different sections that you don't want to include. Now, to print the report, you have the print button in the top right, and also the share this report. You also have a share option, just like we just saw with the Search Plus. You also have the option to select which option how you want to share through email, SMS, text, or if you want to copy a link and share this report. So all-in-one report, again, it's accessible by going to the different report options. If you're doing a regular search and just clicking on it one under the report options, or when you're doing the Search Plus, just by clicking on any listing will automatically connect you and take you to the all-in-one report. So that is the all-in-one report. Any questions?
Okay, it
Okay.
looks good. Thank you very much, Jose. So I hope everybody goes out there and tries Search Plus for your next search, and then try all-in-one report when you're ready to print it or look at it. Okay, so try that. It's a great new functionality. Let's move right along to showings. And after we're done with the showings plus review, we're going to take a moment to see if there's any outstanding questions and spin the wheel for the next winner. So moving on, showings plus. Thank you, Jonathan.
All right. Yeah, so let's just get right into it. Again, this is speed training. So if you want some more comprehensive or more lengthier video on how to do some of these things that we're going over, again, feel free to check out our webinars where we can really dive deep into each of these different features that we're showing. But today, or for this segment, I'll be doing Showings Plus, which is our showing scheduling tool that provides agents a quick and easy way to book showing appointments and receive requests, reminders, and manage your showings. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off as a buyer's agent. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to look for a listing on the MLS and bring up the reports. Now, on our detail reports, you may have seen that we have a option where you can submit a request to view a property. Those are available on any listings where showings are enabled. So if I scroll through these results here, you'll see that and I'm hoping to find one quickly. Here we go. So we will see a property that has this widget on the right-hand side where you can request a showing. You can submit a showing through Showings Plus. And what we can do is we can click on this request to go ahead and submit the request. And the first thing you'll see is you'll be able to choose what type of showing you would like to request. So we have options for both in-person and virtual if you want to do a virtual showing. And you can then choose a showing date and time. You can see from the showing date and times which dates are available. So Showings Plus will automatically remove any dates that maybe have already been reserved. And we also provide agents the ability to black out certain dates or certain times if there's certain hours that they do not want anybody to request appointments for that property. So I can go here, I can select one of these dates, I can select one of the available times. Then I'll confirm my contact information. So I can choose how I want to be notified whenever a confirmation comes in or whenever any information about the showing comes through. So we can choose email, which is our default option, or we can choose text. And we can choose both as well. So we get emails or text to communicate any messages between me and the showing appointment. I can also provide information to the listing owner. So here I can say, please respond ASAP or whatever message I want to provide. and then select the option that you have reviewed the rules and regulations. Click on continue, and you can confirm the showing information that you're about to submit. And that way the listing agent would receive this information and be able to take some action depending on how they have their showings set up. So that's kind of an example of what a showing request would look like. Now, sometimes the request is automatically approved and you'll get a confirmation right away thanks to an auto approve setting that the seller agent can set. But let's see where we can manage all of these different showings. So I'm going to go back now into my showing calendar. You can access your showing calendar from the MLS menu bar. You can click on listings. You can click on showings plus, and that will bring up the showings calendar. Alternatively, you can access this on the homepage where we have a showings plus widget that will give you the ability to access your calendar, view your listings so you can manage your settings on your showings. You can search for properties to do showings, and you can see maybe any activity that is needing your attention. So let's just go into the calendar where you can see all the showing requests that I have submitted and showing requests that I have received. So the request that I have received, you'll notice it has a down arrow pointing or it has an arrow pointing down to the left, meaning I'm receiving these requests. If it has an arrow pointing up and to the right, these are requests that I am submitting on so that I can see other agents' listings. So on this showing calendar here, you can see the status of each of the showings. Green means that it's a confirmed showing. These oranges ones mean that they're pending and need some type of action taken into them. So these are actually requests that I've received, and you can see here that I've received an activity alert letting me know that there is something for me to review. So there's a couple of pending requests that I need to take some action on. So from here, I can go in as a, so now we're kind of being the seller's agent. So I'm a seller's agent. I have a listing on the MLS. I have received these requests, and I can click on any of these requests and I can choose to make it a confirmed request where I accept the date and time that's been proposed, or I can make it as mark it as unavailable. Maybe there's a conflict in the time and it's just not going to work out for this particular date. So I want to make it unavailable. So once I hit confirm, in this case, I can provide some information to that showing agent. So maybe I want to show them how to access the property. Maybe there's a super lockbox on the property, and I can tell them where it is. Maybe it's located on the gate. And then hit confirm, and this will then update this particular showing and confirm that showing request. Once a showing has been confirmed, the showing agent will now receive a confirmation through text or email or however they decided to receive it to let them know that they're good to go now for this particular showing request. Even after a showing request has been confirmed, we can go in here and we can cancel it. If anything ever arises, the showing agent can also cancel the request if they need to, and that will be sent back to me, letting me know that it's been canceled. So if I just go in here, I can maybe provide a reason. Maybe now it's a listing off market, went into pending, and we're no longer showing it. We can choose to allow them to reschedule, or we can choose to black out, and we can also choose to black out this time slot so that nobody else can submit a request for this same date and time. So once that's been canceled, I can go back now to my larger view of the calendar. And I can see these updates being made. So here on the left-hand side, you can filter out what you're viewing on the calendar. So if you only want to view your confirmed showings, you can filter it out by that. You can filter out by in-person or virtual as well. So now let's see kind of what it looks like on the other side again, and as a seller's agent, when a listing gets entered into the MLS, and how you can enable showings so that you can start receiving these notification requests. So here on we'll just go into our Slim dashboard. And I already have a listing I can go into, but when you're creating a new listing, you'll see this option as well. If it's an existing listing, you can always turn on showings even after it's been made live. But on the listing input form, there's a section at the top for showings. And here you can see there's an option to enable showings on the listing. Selecting yes means that you're able to automatically start to receive these notices of showing requests for your listing. If you select no, it means that that little widget will not appear on your listing when they're viewing the report, and they will not be able to submit requests. You can manage the requests through the Slim dashboard, or I'll just go back here to our Showings Plus calendar, and you'll have a tab that says My Listings. You can go to My Listings. You can see the listing that you have. You can see here I can enable or disable showings for the property. There's a couple other things I can do as well. But one of them that I want to show you is the edit. So here, when you're modifying the showing request and setting this all up, you have a lot of options available to you. One of them is you can make the showing request, make the showings a private showing request. This means that it will not be seen by all the agents when they're viewing the reports. Instead, there's going to be a special private link that will be generated that you can then share with whoever you'd like. So only the people that have the link can submit the showing request. So this way you have a little bit more control, or can make that a little bit more private rather than having it available to all agents. Here we have the auto confirm. So this way that any showing requests that come in will automatically get confirmed without any feedback or any confirmation that you have to do manually. So this makes it a lot faster if you just want people to be able to kind of show and go without you having to really do much. You can set up the auto confirm, and then you can also choose to get feedback. Now for the showing types, I mentioned that you can choose in person or virtual, or you can do both. You can specify some instructions like how to access the property via lockbox, or if there's an alarm on the property. You can choose the duration for the showing, which dates are available. So here's my time frame. I can choose some blackout dates if I'd like, and then how I want to be receiving these notifications. If there's another agent that I also want that is maybe helping me or assisting me with showings, I can add them so that they're also informed through any communications that are sent out. And then I can choose some instructions that are shown to the agent when a request is being made, and instructions sent to the agent when a confirmation has been done. So that is pretty much it for Showings Plus. Again, it's very easy to use. It's very simple, and it keeps everything organized in one easy to use calendar, and it keeps everybody in the loop. It sends out reminders and alerts and notifications. So if you want to know more about it, just check out our webinars, or again, always contact our help desk. But that's Showings Plus. Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. And now we have Jorge, our fabulous help desk manager, to spin the wheel for the next winner.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I hope everybody's having a great time so far. So our second prize for today will be a $50 American Express gift card. So just a reminder, you must be in attendance in order to receive your prize. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel. All right, let's see who the lucky winner is. All right, Gina Valona, congratulations. You will receive your prize within 24 hours via email. And thank you so much for being here.
All righty. And somebody asked, how do you know if you're in the wheel? Everybody that registered and is attending today is in the wheel. So you're all in there, and there's still one more chance to win towards the end of the presentation today. Okay, and if everybody wants to take a quick look in the chat, we posted a link to all the upcoming webinars, so you can take a peek at what's available, and you can see pre-recorded items in the training area, or you can book joining live webinars. Okay, let's move on to our agenda. This time you're going to get to see a few different hidden gems, and Jose is going to walk us through Tech Assist line, listing click counter, and QBCasa.
Thank you, Kelly. All right, yeah, let's take a look at some of these tools and features that are available to as you guys that are part of your membership. So the first one we are going to mention is Tech Assist line. So Tech Assist line is a tool that's available to all members where you can get technical support. All right, nothing that has to do with the MLS. Maybe you have some technical issues with your system. Maybe you have so you need some help with some printing, or maybe you have like a virus or spam or anything that is not MLS related, and you need some technical support. That is now part of your membership with the MLS. And to access the Tech Assist line information, you can access that under our MLS products and services portlet, and you'll see there that there's a option for Tech Assist line. Just go ahead and click on Tech Assist line, and that's going to go ahead and take you to our different information that you can read about, what kind of support that we provide, how to access our technicians under the phone number in the top right corner there. That's going to connect you to our help desk technicians. And as you can see, it's free member benefit. Here you can see that there's some different categories that we provide some support for. Now, it's not just limited to these. It could be, again, like I said, any technical issue that you're experiencing. And so you can click on any of these here. You can read a little bit more about what kind of technical support is provided for these different categories. We also provide some different information, like different topics you can read about, like how to create an account on Instagram, how to do a virus scan and stuff like that. You can go ahead and click on these different links to read a little bit more about these different articles that we post through the Tech Assist line. Also, we provide some different videos where you can see some support you can do maybe on your end. You can see how you can you watch a couple of videos there, and you also find like our Tech Assist line hours. If you need to get a hold of us, these are the hours that we provide technical support for you. So yeah, you can go ahead and access that. Again, this is all included with your membership with the MLS. So that's the first gem that we're going to look about. So Tech Assist line, take advantage of that. It's included. So and it's all remotely. We connect to your systems remotely and provide that support for you through Tech Assist line. Okay. Now the next gem we're going to talk about is the listing click counter. So the listing click counter allows you to pull up analytics or statistics on your own listings. Perhaps you want to see how many views your listings had, how many times has been shared, where are most of the views coming from, what websites are getting the most views. That's what listing click counter does. So what you can do is you just go into the listings menu at the very top. So you click on listings and you go to listing click counter, and this will connect you to our listing click counter report. To save myself some time here, I loaded an example here, and this will provide you different information, different data on total views. For example, here, this listing or this agent has some views here through Vesta Plus, which is our members that are using Vesta Plus software. You see there's some views from Zillow, MLSs, which is our other MLSs that we share data with, like CRMLS, for example, and so many other MLS systems. You can go ahead and view the views, Realtor.com, and all these other websites. So if you hover your mouse there, you can see the total amount of views through the different websites, and it all depends on the timeline you have selected. So right now I'm looking at the last 30 days. You can view the last 7 days or to enter a custom date range, and you can see the total views, any inquiries, total visitors each day through the different websites and how many views each day. And you can go ahead and see where, which market area, your top 10 listings that has the most views, and different, total shares and all that. So you can see all this information through the listing click counter. Now, you can also, if you want to load a specific listing, you can go to listings here on the left, and this will bring up all your active listings, and you can just click on view analytics and view the results or the statistics for just that one listing that you have in the Vesta Plus system. You can also schedule like an automatic updates if you want to go ahead and share this information, this data, perhaps with the owner of the property. You can go ahead and set up and schedule a daily report or a weekly report just by simply clicking the schedule report option. And this will allow you to go ahead and like set up like a weekly or a daily report automatically updates with the latest information, with the latest data. So here simply at the bottom where it says delivery options, you can say send weekly, send every other week, or send once a month. And or if you just want to share a one time, you just select the off button and select you want to just share the data, the analytics, the one time, just by clicking off and then hit save, and that'll set up the automatic updates with the latest updates, and it provides the up-to-date information. So so you can set that up as well, and set this with an automatic report. So you have that option, and then on the left side where you see the seller's report history, if you want to see, which report or when was the last time that a report was emailed or sent or shared, under the seller report history, this is where you can keep a track of all those emails that have been sent out. Okay, so that's the listing click counter. Once again, if you need to access that, just by simply logging into Vesta Plus, click on the listings menu and then click on listing click counter. All right, the third and final option we're going to talk about is Kubicasa. Now, Kubicasa is a great tool to use. It's an app that you can install on your phones, Android or iOS phones. And what it does, it allows you to create free floor plans just by downloading the app and using the app. All you do is basically go to the property, open up the app. You're gonna allow access to your phone's camera, and you're gonna do a one scan throughout the whole property, and that will create a free floor plan for you. La Casa will include a free floor plan for any property up to 5,000 square feet, and within 24 hours, you'll be able to download that scan. So it's pretty great to use. Just go ahead and download the app and create the account. It's free. And once you create the account, you're going to go ahead and, you start the scan. And Kubicasa, it's a great tool to use. It's free. And not only can you create a free floor plan with Kubicasa, you can also create like a 3D tour with Kubicasa. They also provide like an option to create like a like a virtual tour or virtual video using the app now. So when you go to Kubicasa and you access Kubicasa, you can see there you can create free floor plans, and you download it and you can add it to your listing like part of like the photos, or you can also include it as a document if you wish. And so free floor plans, and also if you wish to create like a 3D tour, you do get a discount as a MLS member. So when you download the app, you create an account, you're going to say that you are a member of the MLS, and they give you like a 25% off on all your purchases through Kubicasa. So it's a great tool to use. And if you want to learn more about all these products that we've mentioned and all the different features and tools that we presented today, just want to show you that where you can access all the webinars just by clicking on the help menu, click on training, and this will bring up all the webinars that are coming up, which are live or coming up webinars. You can see there's a list, and also all the pre-recorded webinars. As you scroll down, you're going to see all that. So all you got to do, just click on register on any of these webinars that are coming up, and it's all online through Zoom. You'll get a link, and then you can join in on the webinar training. So all these products that we mentioned, Kubicasa, Listing Click Counter, and all these products that we went over today are all available here through the webinar. So hope we get to see you there.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Jose. Okay, we have one more tool to cover off. That'll be rental tools with Jonathan. And then we get to move on to Angie Javier, who I know everybody's excited about. She's going to talk about elevating your brand with video. And then we have one more giveaway. And at the very end, after the giveaway, I'm going to make a great announcement about our next big event for all of our members. So make sure you stay tuned. Don't log off as soon as that last Amex gift card gets given away. Okay, so Jonathan, let's hear about rental tools.
Yeah, let's talk rentals. So we have a couple of different tools and that I'm going to be showing you today that are available to members as rental features and really just cater towards that rental market. So one of them or a couple of them that I'm showing you will be able to assist with screening the tenant. And the first one we're going to start with is Rent Spree. So you can access these tools a couple of different ways. We have a new widget on the MLS called MLS Products and Services, where some of these products reside in. So I'll be covering Rent Spree and the My CoreLogic or CoreLogic My Rental. So the first one is Rent Spree. Rent Spree is a powerful online rental platform, and it provides tools for every step in the rental process. So it includes tenant screenings, it includes the rental applications. They can even take rent payments, rent estimates, renter's insurance, things like that. But I'll mostly be focusing on kind of the rental application and screening process. So the first thing you can do is you can create your Rent Spree account by clicking on the Rent Spree icon here on your member dashboard. That will then take you to the Rent Spree sign up page. So from here, you'll be able to click on the sign up if you haven't already created your account. Again, this is just a free realtor member benefit. You can click sign up and you'll go through the sign up process by entering your information. I'm already signed up, so it's just going to log me right in into my Rent Spree account. But here you can see you have access to like a Rent Spree dashboard that will give you some information and some tools that you can utilize. But before we get into some of these tools and benefits, let's start on the MLS as a listing agent who has a lease property that's coming on to the MLS. So I'm going to go into Slim. And on our listing input form, we have I'll just pull up any rental property that we have. So it has to be a lease property type because Rent Spree will only be available for lease types. But what you'll need to do is, in order to receive some screening applications and be able to use some of the Rent Spree functions, you'll need to enable Rent Spree screening within the lease terms section of the input form. So here, if I go to contract and I go to, actually my mistake, I believe I need to go to listing, go to lease terms. There is a option here that will say Rent Spree online screening, yes or no. So turning this on, we'll enable that Rent Spree option on the listing detail reports, and we'll take a look at that in a second. If the listing was already active, if this was an active listing and I turn on the Rent Spree, a button will show up underneath that will let me copy the application link so that I can share it with anybody else, even outside of the MLS. But we're going to go into kind of the detail page here of this listing just to take a look at it. And you can see here on the detail reports, there's this Rent Spree Apply Now button. So with this button, any agent would be able to click on this, and obviously this isn't a complete listing, but they'll be able to click on this and provide some information so that they can get that rental screening process started. And you, as an agent, you can also share this report, and that would also have it appear for them on the client detail reports if Rent Spree is enabled so that they can go through the process themselves. And it also shows up on the reports on our guest site. So even any guest, if rentals are enabled, they can go through this process of submitting their screening application. So whether you're a listing or a renter's agent, you can also start collecting applications by going to the tenant screening tab on Rent Spree. So here on the left-hand side, you'll see tenant screening. you can go to screen new tenants to get started with that process. So you can choose whether it's an existing listing or if it's a new property. Since I already have this one here, you can choose which role you play. Maybe you represent the owner, maybe you represent the applicant or the person that is applying for this. You can hit next, and then you'll see some of the options that are available. So RentSpree will let you choose who will be paying for the application. You can choose the applicants will be the ones that will be paying the fees, or you can choose that you're going to be covering it if you want to be a little generous. There's a couple of different bundles that you can choose from. If you only want the rental application, then that is completely free. There's no charge to that. But if you want to start screening them and have like the credit report, criminal record, eviction reports, things like that, there'll be fees. So the standard one is $39.99. If you want a premium one, which includes things like a reference check, you can upload documents, you can have some income estimates, then that would be $49.99 as a premium. The next option is selecting what type of application. So if you're familiar with the CAR rental application, you can choose that one. If you have access, you'll need to provide your NRDS ID so that they can validate that you have access to those forms, or you can just choose kind of their standard rental application. From here, you can customize which items you want to include. So if your screening report, if you don't need the reference checks, you can disable that, or you can choose to disable any of these options. Then you can upload documents. So if you want to, or you can choose to receive documents. So if you want them to provide documents like proof of income, bank statements, W-2s, any of that, you can enable those features. You can hit next, and that will go through, and it will then, from here, you'll be able to, well, I might be able to show you this without going through it, but here you can send this application via email or text message to any applicants that you want to send it to. It gives you the ability to share a link as well if you want to post that link, and you can even get a flyer. So this will create a flyer with a QR code, and anybody that clicks on that QR code will be able to then go through this process of submitting the rental application. And I have, yeah, so let's go back to their dashboard, and you'll be able to manage all the applications that you receive from this RentSpree dashboard. And once the renter, let me see if I can show you what that application process looks like. But if you're familiar with the CAR form, it's pretty much the same. Let me go through the dashboard again. But if a potential renter, they'll be asked to also create an account so we can validate and know who they are. Then after maybe like a 30-minute application process where they fill out the form and submit it, that will then be collected by RentSpree and sent back into this dashboard here for the agent to then review. So here they can see any tenants, any applications that they have received, or any applications that they are submitting if you are a potential renter. So the great part about RentSpree is you never really have to collect personal or sensitive information yourself. It's all handled through RentSpree. And it's also a soft credit check, which means it's not going to hurt the applicant's credit score. So now just to go over, let's actually have an example of what that application and what that report looks like that you would receive back. So here's an example of that from RentSpree. So here's the information of the tenants, some information about the co-signers, their current residence, their current occupation. So you get all this history. And then underneath here, you'll get that CAR form. You'll get their criminal checks, credit checks, and all that. So now the next tool that I want to go over is going to be the MyRental, CoreLogic MyRental screening service. So with this one, it's also another way for you to get a rental application. And once again, for our MLS members, we actually have a discount of 20% on any of these different packages that you can choose. And MyRental is basically a service that offers a wide range of different types of background reports and services. So on top of some of those other ones that RentSpree may have, this also includes things like a TU rental score, a multi-state sex offender check, terrorist check, housing court data. So it provides a little bit more information than the rent spree does. And that's kind of where the differences lie. Obviously, the prices of them are a bit different as well. But with My Rental, it's a little bit lighter weight. You don't get all of the dashboard features and all the extra rental items. But for the My Rental screening, this is kind of the process that they would go through here. So when you're going through the My Rental process, you're entering the information of the property. Once you have entered the information, you're putting in the information of the applicant. You're choosing which documents they're going to be required to submit, similar to the rent spree one. From here, you can choose if you want to add the screening or you just want to, again, just get the registration for the rental. You can choose, again, who will pay. So it's very similar in that way. And then once that has been sent out to the potential applicant, they will receive the application form that they can fill out. And you get access to a dashboard where you can see all the different applications. So that is a summary of our latest rental tools that you have at your disposal. Again, that's Rent Spree and CoreLogic available in this MLS products and services. And that concludes this session. So we'll kick it off with our next host. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you, Jonathan. That was so much information. I hope you all took great notes and have at least 3 fantastic tips and new tools you can walk away with today. We are right on time, so thank you to our staff for keeping us right on track. And hopefully we're answering all your questions. I noticed there are a few more in the chat and the QA. We are answering them in writing there. I just wanted to answer one live, which is somebody who joined late. Are you still in the wheel drawing? Yes. You had to register to be part of our presentation today. And so that puts you into the wheel. So everybody that's listening is in the wheel. You just have to be present to win that big $100 at the end. So without further ado, I know everybody is very excited. I'm excited to hear Angie Javier, who's a marketing consultant and national speaker for Realtor.com. And we're going to hear her storytelling magic. And don't go away at the end. Wait for the big draw and an announcement for our next big member event. Thank you. Welcome, Angie.
Thank you so much, Kelly and team. It's such a pleasure to be with you all again. I hope you're all having a really good day and a great event here. Again, my name's Angie Javier. I am with the Realtor.com industry relations team. I'm a national speaker, so maybe we have met someplace before, whether it is somewhere in Los Angeles or at a conference, anywhere in the country. It is my pleasure to be here with you all today. Let me go ahead and pop my screen up here. I do have some slides I want to share with you. And like the team mentioned, we're going to be talking all about storytelling magic, how to elevate your brand using video. Now, as we go through this, I want this to be as integrated and engaging as much as possible. So if you have any questions or comments or any great thoughts, please type them into the chat area. That way I know that you're hearing the message and you're still with us here. And like I mentioned, don't leave when we're over because there's going to be some additional announcements that you don't want to miss. Okay. So I really hope that by the end of this session, you will have a more clear understanding of how to harness the power of both storytelling and video to really elevate your brand to your customers and who will soon be your clients, right? So that's what this is all about, is really elevating your brand, really creating that trustworthiness in people. So when the time does come for them to buy or sell their home, it's you that they think of. So I want to first ask the audience here, where does your brand show up the most? Just pop it into the chat super quick. Where does your brand show up the most? Is it through your referrals? Is it through your social media? Are you doing other advertising or print advertising? Are you involved in the community? Are you, do you spend time in charitable organizations? So go ahead and let me know, because this kind of will tell me where your audience is and where you're focusing on prospecting for a new business, right? And see, we're seeing a big mix here. We see referrals, newsletters, okay, volunteerism, social media. Honestly, I quite thought a lot of people were going to say through social media, right? Through your Instagram and through your Facebook, but it's really nice to see that everybody's doing something different, right? So it just goes to show there's not one cookie cutter way to get your brand out there, because you all have your own audiences. You all have your own stories that you need to resonate with your people. Great. Word of mouth from Ginger. Yes. All right. Thank you for sharing. Here's how we're going to lay out this presentation today. I'm going to start off with the fundamentals of storytelling with some statistics that's going to help set the foundation of your video strategy and why it matters in real estate, right? I'm going to show you how to become a master storyteller in 7 sentences. So I'm going to teach you a really simple strategy today that's going to help you get better at telling stories. And then in the last section, we're going to go over crafting compelling video stories by looking at the elements of a great story, how to plan, how to storyboard, and I'll go over some tools and platforms to help you with editing your final pieces. So storytelling is essential for capturing your audience's attention, right? You really want to make your message memorable. You want to convey that information effectively. And the point is that they remember who you are, they remember your brand. When it is time that they're thinking of real estate or they're looking at a listing, you want to be the one that they remember to reach out to. So when someone's watching or listening to your story, wherever that may be, on social media, on your blogs, even if they're reading it through your newsletters, you want them to experience some kind of physical reaction. Okay? So I'm talking about the laugh out loud, I'm crying, I'm tearing, all those funny things that we say to one another when we share stories with each other. Right? I love to share anything funny that cracks me up on Instagram or TikTok. I send those straight over to my husband because I want that shared experience with him, right? We share it with our friends. Sometimes we read something that's so emotional. It just really brings up an emotion that sometimes makes us cry, right? So when someone experiences a physical reaction from your story, you are able to connect with that person on a more deeper level. Storytelling is not just about entertainment. It's a powerful communication strategy that can really enhance the impact of your message, no matter where that message is. So the most effective videos that are out there use storytelling as a tool to convey that information. And brands and businesses will use storytelling to persuade and engage their audience. And we're all familiar with that know, like, and trust, right? It's the first thing you learn in real estate marketing. And as you're prospecting for new clients, you got to get them to know you, like you, and trust you. So in order to convert your customers who are in your wider range of audience into a follower and convert them into a client, that person on the other end has to know you and trust you and your brand. Your biggest challenge these days with buyers and sellers is their attention. We're all consumers, right? You and I, we're all consuming information. We're all buying products and services. We're all overstimulated with everything that's happening right now in the market, in the industry, and so on. But here's the thing, for your consumers, your customers, who are not your clients yet, right? The more you pop up in front of them, the more you show your face and share relatable stories, again, it's going to make it easier for them to see you and remember you when it's time to make your move. And through social media, they really put that technology in place. The more you are consistent in your stories and in your videos, that feeds right into that algorithm and that search engine optimization, right? And so we'll talk more about that as we go through our different tools and our platforms. You want people to feel like they know you. So people do remember stories much more easily than they remember facts and figures. But let me share some figures with you here real quick, just to really help us set the foundation and really fully understand that a well-told story can really, again, evoke those emotions and really help people, really motivate people in the decision-making process, especially something like buying a home. 92% of consumers in a recent study said they want brands to make their ads feel like a story, right? That's why the best Super Bowl ads are the ones that have that story behind them, even the ones that don't have any talking in them. Like we can all remember, probably the top 1 or 2 most favorite commercials we see during the Super Bowl or doing any large event on television. Or maybe you've seen some of these ads through YouTube, and the ones that had that storytelling feel that brings up a feeling are the ones that are the most memorable, right? In the middle here, according to Sprout Social, 86% of Americans believe transparency is crucial when choosing brands to buy from, and 73% are willing to pay more for products or services from transparent brands. This one really hit me because it is so true. Americans will pay for good service. We have service providers that we have in our lives that we have no problem paying for their service, right? So not going to dive into the weeds about all the changes that are happening and how commissions are under attack, but there was another side to that story that could have a better narrative, right? When you provide great service to your buyers and sellers, and you demonstrate transparency on how you're going to get them to the finish line, and you are on their side to be their advocate, you will do great in your business and you will do great for your clients, and they will continue to refer you and continue to come back to you. You will be the one and only realtor agent that they need, okay? Storytelling is a powerful way to demonstrate your transparency. And then 72% of customers would rather learn about a product or service by way of video, and that's according to HubSpot. So when we continue to talk about your way of telling stories, this isn't just through your social media, your Instagrams or TikToks. You can apply that storytelling magic in your listing descriptions, in your buyer or listing presentations, in your email campaigns. Who here is using BombBomb, right? BombBomb, we're just great friends in the industry. They're not a part of us, but they do great work with their technology in allowing agents to send video messaging one-to-one to your entire database, okay? So that storytelling shows up in a lot of different ways, not just in your reels and in your TikToks, okay? This versatility allows you all as real estate practitioners to reach a broader audience and engage them in different ways. So why storytelling matters in real estate? Well, first off, it's that emotional connection. People remember stories much more easily than they remember facts and figures, right? So as we've been saying, a well-told story can really evoke the emotions, and whether it's happiness, relieving some sort of stress, or bringing up a memory that was, difficult in the past, and now we want to overcome it in the future. These could be very, very powerful motivators in that decision-making process. And when you're able to connect emotionally through stories, you're able to build stronger relationships, right? And so we think we do this all the time in our personal lives. We do it in our dating days. We do it when we're entering a new network or a new circle of friends. We tell each other stories to foster those relationships. We do the same thing in our business. It humanizes your brand as a real estate professional. So, buyers and sellers, you need to get them to relate to you on a more personal level. Okay. It's what, I know that all realtors and real estate agents are very different, but I think overall consumers, they have this one way of how they think realtors work, right? They just want my commission. They don't do anything but sign the paperwork. I mean, there's this exercise that I used to teach. If you go to Google and just type in, why do realtors? And Google is based on the popularity of searches and that algorithm, right? Why do realtors? And you'll see all these negative things because people are typing, like questioning what realtors do. So the best thing you can do is to control your own brand as a real estate professional. Okay. So humanize your brand. Don't be afraid to show your human side. And if you want to be funny, you can be great. If you have a specific aesthetic, I know a lot of agents that are very much, self-proclaimed foodies. They're into, really love going to festivals, and they show that side of themselves, and they're able to really find, their side of working with different buyers and sellers, right? So share stories that are a little bit personal to you. I'm not saying you have to share your whole personal story, but maybe why you became a real estate agent, some of the challenges you've overcome for yourself or for your clients. Again, funny moments on the job. Some of the best content I'm seeing online right now are these spoofs and, agents kind of lip syncing to the little Taylor Swift songs. Those are the best because they're memorable, right? So that authenticity and storytelling helps to humanize you. It's going to differentiate you from your competition. Okay, it's a really great way to create a distinctive brand identity. So sharing your unique experiences and sharing your values and vision through your stories can set you apart from the other agents who rely solely on traditional or automated marketing. Okay. And I get asked all the time, actually, I was just checking my Instagram before this. I had a couple of agents asking me, I want to learn more about AI. How can I automate my responses? And I responded, is that something you really want to do? That is the whole point, and making sure that everybody knows that you are a real live working real estate professional. We can only do so much with automation and do so much with AI. Okay, so this is one area. And it might be controversial to some of my other speakers in the circuit out there, but you should really focus on showing up as yourself and responding to people as yourself, okay? And then, as we've said, it establishes credibility and trust. Sharing some of those personal stories, such as your own journey into real estate, can really build that trustworthiness amongst your audience. Clients are more likely to work with someone they feel they know, like, and trust. And the best feeling that you know that your brand is working and that your stories are working is when you're out and you're at a grocery store or you're at the baseball field, with the other parents. They say, hey, I saw your video. Hey, you popped up on my YouTube. Hey, you're just everywhere. You're like a video star, right? That's when you know that your brand, through storytelling and through your channels, are working. I'm going to pause for a second here for a couple minutes. I want to show you a video example from a real estate agent, top producer in Orange County. This is Rita Tayanaka. Some of you may know her, but her profile video is a perfect example of how to storytell your business. Now, if you have never created a profile video before, if there's one thing that you do from this presentation today, is go out and create a profile video, and then we'll talk about where you can post it and how to share it, okay? But let's watch Rita's video.
My kids were 2 and 4, and I was a teacher, and I was dropping them off at daycare every day. And I thought, I need to do something where I can be home with them and have more time with them. My mom had been a realtor, and I saw that she was able to be home with us. And so I became a realtor. That's when it all started. I'm Rita Tayanaka, and I work at Costa Canyon Real Estate. I was born in Michigan, and I think that I've brought that Midwest value to California. I'm very ethical, where maybe not everybody is. We started Costa Canyon in 2007 because we had worked for a franchise company for years and decided that we needed to just be ourselves. Somebody had to become the broker. That was me. And then after a few years, it became my company, and now we're up to 14 agents and growing. I think when I start a client process, I get to know them. We interview each other and make sure we're right for each other. A lot of times it's a referral from somebody that said, Rita's the right person for you. I make sure that they know every step of the way what they should be doing, what their lender should be doing, what I should be doing. I let them know when there's problems. We work together to make sure that the deal goes well. And then I follow up forever. When I'm not working, I enjoy volunteering. We raised puppies for Guide Dogs of America. We take them out and about for training. We're on our 8th puppy right now. And the ones that don't pass, we have used for therapy. And we go to Chalk Hospital, we go to Mission Hospital, and work with patients that are sick. My favorite part is getting that first time client or the move up client and finding what their dream is and making it happen. After being in it so many years, their kids are coming to me and, they're saying, you should use Rita. She sold us our house 20 years ago and you should try her. And so it's very exciting to see these kids that I knew that were 2 and 3 that are now buying houses. when I start the day, I want to make sure that I end it knowing that everybody, whether it be an agent in my office or a buyer or a seller, has had a positive day. They go to bed feeling good, that the problem was solved and everything is going to work out.
Okay, so I don't know about you, but I feel like I really know Rita. And if I were, for example, a homeowner that's looking to list my home, and Rita was one of the agents I'm going to interview, I feel like I really know her already. She's going to walk through the door and I'm going to have my questions ready for her. I love the transparency. What I love the most though at the beginning is she went straight into why she became a realtor. And that's there are several points where I got a little emotional in her video, but that was the first point, right? And then she didn't actually introduce herself until about 30 seconds in. So it's a really, really great way. So for those of you who have already created a profile video, I mean, that's amazing. You should be updating them every few years, uploading them, to your realtor.com profiles, have them right on the front page of your website. But this is just one practical way that you can take away the things you're learning from today and apply them into your marketing. Okay, so let's look at how to become a master storyteller in 7 sentences. Okay, so the first sentence is for context: when, who, and what. The next 2 sentences should be to introduce the problem. Then the next 2 is your response to the problem. The next 1 sentence is the results. So how did it work out? And then the next one is your takeaway. So let's look at an example of 7 sentences into becoming a master storyteller. And this would be ideal as an example for promoting an energy efficient home. Okay. In 2010, my clients purchased this mid-century modern house with a dream of creating an eco-friendly home. They faced the challenge of outdated systems and high energy costs. Determined to make a change, they invested in solar panels and energy efficient appliances. Their efforts led to significant savings and a smaller carbon footprint. Today, this home is not only stylish, but also sustainable. It's a shining example of how green living can enhance comfort and reduce costs. Imagine living in a place where innovation meets environmental responsibility. So that's a perfect opening. Great content for your social media, great content for your YouTube videos. But again, very practical example if you're promoting something like an energy efficient home. I have another example for you. How many of you are using testimonials in your marketing and promotion, right? So client testimonials, instead of just copying and pasting the testimonial onto your marketing, create an introduction for it. Back in February, my clients were first-time home buyers eager to find a place of their own, but were overwhelmed by the competitive market. They faced challenges like bidding wars and confusing mortgage options. I stepped in to guide them through the process, explaining every detail and helping them to make informed decisions. We strategized on offers and found creative ways to stand out to sellers. After a few months, they finally secured a charming, affordable home in their desired neighborhood. Okay, so there you have it. Just things that you're already doing. You're not going to change everything, but you're going to add to it. You're going to enhance to it and level up the messaging you're currently doing. All right. So I hope those 2 examples, very simple tactic here. Just if you're looking for ways to really get people to pay more attention, to really get more engagement and reaction to your content, this is one way that you can do it. All right. So let's move over to, we have the foundation of our storytelling. We have this 7 sentences to becoming a master storyteller. Let's now combine this with our video strategies. Before we dive in, I want to know, where are you all using video the most? All right, so just go ahead and pop it in the chat here. Let us know where you're using video the most. I would say for myself, I am primarily using video on Instagram. I can see some of you here saying Instagram, Facebook. Some of you are being very specific and saying you're selling your listings on Instagram. Yes, a couple of people said YouTube. YouTube is that's a whole other workshop to talk about YouTube. I would say that, Sometimes agents get a little overwhelmed and overworked on editing videos for YouTube. Make your video short, less than 2 minutes. Just start posting videos to YouTube 2 to 3 times per week. It's just a nice place to be seen when people are searching, looking you up, or looking for realtors in your area. Okay. Some people said TikTok, etc. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing. This kind of gives me an idea. And it was what I expected. Most of you are doing it through Instagram and Facebook. Okay. Oops. So let's talk about elements of a great story that you can tell through your video. So first, we want to make sure we have relatable characters. So whether that's yourself as the main character, or if you're talking about your clients, like sharing a testimonial, make that character the hero of your story. The protagonist should be someone your audience can relate to, right? And they should be the hero in navigating whatever challenges and triumphs that you're trying to portray. So when telling the story, focus on the hopes and dreams and struggles of your characters and highlight that journey and how your services and expertise helped them in achieving their goals, right? And if the main character is you, highlight your perseverance and your dedication in just delivering that great service or whatever it was for you to achieve your goal. There needs to be conflict and resolution. So every compelling story has a conflict that the protagonist must overcome. This could be the challenge in finding the perfect home, or the challenge in trying to negotiate the right deal, or dealing with unexpected issues. All of these things happen in your transaction, right? There's always something that comes up, and it's the perfect opportunity to share those type of behind the scene moments in your stories, in your reels, etc. This is the content that people actually stick around to watch. There should be that emotional arc, right? We've been talking about evoking emotions to your audience because it makes you more memorable. It resonates with your audience on a more deeper level. And then adding things to enhance the emotion, like music, B-roll, visuals, narration, to continue to evoke that emotion. You just want to ultimately be authentic, but there are different layers you can add to your video to add to it. Having a CTA, a strong call to action at the end of your video, will always prompt viewers to take the next step, whether it's to contact you for more information, whether they want to schedule a private showing, subscribe to your newsletter, fill out the form in your bio, whatever it may be. Always tell them what to do at the end. Even if it's as simple as like this video or save it or send it to a friend, encourage them to take action, because any movement they do on your content on social media is remembered by the platform, right? You want to create that engagement so you continue to show up for them and to their suggested followers as well. And then keep it concise. You want to aim for clarity and avoid unnecessary details. So identify the most critical information or key selling points that you want to communicate to your audience. So storyboarding helps with this, which we'll talk about on the next slide. So planning and storyboarding is a big part of your video strategy. So focus on those elements while trimming away any less essential details. So editing is going to be your biggest strength here for keeping it concise. And so edit ruthlessly, okay? Trim those unnecessary scenes, tighten up your dialogue. You can get it as close to the moment that you're talking. Eliminate any of that redundancy or repetitive content. And the more you just do it, the more you do video, the more you're recording yourself and so on, the more you're just going to get better in creating more streamlined, polished videos that will ultimately capture the essence of your story. So planning, definitely you want to storyboard your videos when you can. I know sometimes it's easy for some people just to go out on a whim and start recording lives or doing, stories, especially when you're touring properties or things like that. But for a lot of agents that I know that are very honest and transparent with me, even some of you here have said, I don't do video. I don't like looking at myself. I don't like the way that I look, right? And the thing is, you are the way that you look. And so does that mean that you're not meeting clients in person? Are you not doing prospecting activities or hosting open houses so that buyers and sellers can meet you in person? No, right? You're out there and you're trying to meet people within the community and in the neighborhood. And so your video is just going to be an extension of that. So the first step is get over our mindset. I actually have a whole other webinar on mindset. But for here, just make a plan, okay, so that you have goals in front of you. Outline the story that you want to tell, jot down the scenes and key messages. Before any filming begins, it's really crucial to plan out your video meticulously. And so take time to brainstorm and organize your ideas before diving into any kind of production. And if you're collaborating with anyone, so maybe, I see a lot of agents creating videos with their title partner or with other agents or their mortgage partner, put a little meeting session together and write down your goals and how that video is going to take place. Okay, so create a visual storyboard or a shot list to map out the sequence of shots and ensure that you capture everything you need during your filming. Okay, script writing. So most of your videos are going to rely primarily on visuals. Others might benefit from a more scripted narration or a dialogue to guide the viewer through that story that you're telling. A well-written script ensures that your message is clear, it's concise, it's engaging, and it's just flowing from one point to the next. And if you're not good with words, sometimes I'm not good with words, right? Believe it or not, I'm a national speaker. I do, anytime 3 to 5 live webinars per week, and then I'm presenting live. Sometimes I'm not good at with words, right? And so thankfully we have ChatGPT to help us with the additional creating copy and writing, talk points. So when you're utilizing ChatGPT, remember your tones, remember your voices that you want to use, and make sure that it just sounds more natural like you. Okay, so script writing, and you can even use ChatGPT to come up with storyboarding or with creating a shot list. You just literally say, please create a shot list for a 2-minute video explaining to buyers why now is a good time to buy. Put that prompt in there so it knows. Some filming tips to know. The technical quality of your video can significantly impact its effectiveness and even the way that it looks professionally. And I'm not saying that, you're trying to be the next Scorsese or you need a whole film crew. I mean, I see agents all the time at different events with their whole film crew with them. And that's wonderful. If that's something that you have the resources for to do it, keep doing it. But for many of us that we're just kind of on our own and we have our own tools that we're using, I would suggest just have some really good lighting, right? So try to do your videos, if you're doing more selfie videos, do them outside, do them close to a window. I have a ring light in front of me. I also have a little travel ring light that I pop right over my phone. It's like $5 on Amazon. I highly recommend that you invest in a lavalier mic, or even if it's just a little handheld mic, but wireless. Okay, especially if you're doing more video about property tours or you're interviewing people in the community, the sound quality can really impact the viewership of your video. If the sound is not good, people skip right by it. If there was an unlike button for poor sound, people would be unliking it. Okay, so invest in a little mic. I don't have it on me right now, but it's a little mic here and it's wireless. I think it was $20 on Amazon. I got the one with 2 mics. So if I wanted to interview someone, I could. Okay, so there you have it for some filming technical tips. And then of course, editing. This editing process is where you're going to enter your raw footage and you can really make it come together in a more cohesive, polished video. You really want to aim for more balance and brevity and engagement through that editing process. So keep your video concise, keep it focused. Just like we learned on the previous slide, editing is going to be your biggest strength here. Okay, so here are some of the apps that agents I know who are just crushing it with video, and social media influencers that I know that are doing this as a full-time job. These are the apps that they're using, okay? We have CapCut, InShot, Canva, and Unfold. I noticed some of you mentioned some of the apps you're using earlier. So the top line, I wanted to keep it separate because the first 4 apps are available on Android and on iOS. Okay, Android never gets any love in these presentations, so I always make sure that I mention that first. And then Splice and iMovie are 2 apps that I've used on my iOS, on my iPad, and on my iPhone. Very easy to use, but really great way just to kind of slice and cut and help you make quick edits while you're on the go. Okay, so there's really no excuse to not create videos anywhere you go, whether it's 30 seconds or 2 minutes. You have the tools right here at your disposal to create and edit really great videos. And then here are some more editing technology and tools that people use. So this is beyond the apps that are available on your device. So for editing software, I think everybody knows about iMovie. It's only on MacBook or on your iPads. It's perfect for realtors who are newer to video editing and you need to create a professional looking video. It doesn't really have a steep learning curve. The agents I know who are using iMovie tell me they're self-taught. Just go on YouTube and they learn a couple of quick tutorials and they're able to quickly learn how to use iMovie to edit. Adobe Premiere Pro is ideal for real estate agents who want to produce more higher quality polished videos. It has more advanced editing features than iMovie has. Camtasia is similar to Premiere Pro, and they're just software bundles that you buy, right? And you can add them to whatever system that you're using. Camtasia, by the way, is the app that most webinar presenters will use to create on-demands. Also, a lot of YouTube content creators use Camtasia as well. And then Final Cut Pro is probably the most professional out of all of the editing software. If you really want to have all of the editing capabilities, it does have a somewhat user-friendly interface, but there is a little bit more a learning curve with Final Cut Pro. Now, for hosting your videos, I think it's a given that YouTube is probably the main place you want to upload all of your videos. Anything under 1 minute, or is it 2 minutes now? I can never remember. It always changes. And if you're uploading it in a vertical, so kind of this vertical, it will automatically upload as a YouTube short. And I noticed some of you said that you're posting your videos in YouTube shorts. It is the latest rage right now. I think it's silently becoming the rage. It was YouTube's way to compete against TikTok and Instagram Reels. So yeah, I think if you're creating that short form video, get them up onto YouTube and really just start creating that log of content on your channels. Vimeo is just an alternate from YouTube. So once you upload your video into YouTube, it creates that link, and then you can now embed that link onto any website. On realtor.com, you can post a video on your profile. So just like we saw that video from Rita, if you have a video like that, host it either on Vimeo or on YouTube, get that link and pop it right onto your realtor.com profile. And as we saw in the stat earlier, people are more likely going to retain information from a video that they watch rather than reading it on the screen. And then, of course, we have all the socials. And I would say the top 3 areas that agents post their videos the most are on Facebook, Instagram, and on LinkedIn. Instagram probably has the most variety in ways you can post video content. So, Reels is everything right now. It's in that short form video. Stories is always great. Now, Stories is the thing that you should be posting more on a regular basis. Instagram has said they prefer when users post into Stories every single day. And what's great about Stories is they're very short, right? So you do little video snips, 15 to 30 seconds. You can do multiple of them in one sitting, and that's really going to help build your engagement and more visibility to new followers. Okay. And LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is really great for real estate agents that are focusing on building more professional relationships. For those of you who are brokers or team leaders and you're looking on recruiting, that's where you're going to find most of the people to connect with is through your LinkedIn. And so if you're creating video content for LinkedIn, that's going to be different than the video content you're creating on Instagram, right? So we'll use tools like ChatGPT or AI to come up with the different scripts to match the audience where we're at. And then the last part in your editing is using analytical tools. So no matter what platform you're using, there is a set of analytics and data on the back end that's going to let you know how your videos are performing. And it is essential for you as a real estate professional in your business to understand how your videos are performing. So there's Google Analytics. So if you have anything linked through your Google profile, you can set up a dashboard for data there. If you're primarily using YouTube, right on your channel, you'll see all the different analytics, how your video is performing on YouTube, click-throughs, and so on. And then, of course, Facebook Insights. Okay, so in the Business Manager, you can look at the insights for your Facebook and your Instagram in one place. I know most of you here are utilizing Instagram, and it's great. You're just getting into the habit of doing it. But now let's dive into the analytics a little bit more, especially as we continue on the second half of 2024. in just a few short months here, you're going to start business planning. You're going to start looking at all your business strategies, what worked, what didn't work. This is where you're going to dive into your analytics to see, okay, so I created 20 videos in the first half of 2024. The ones that performed the most, or I got the most likes or most comments, was talking about affordability of home ownership. So then we focus on creating more of that content because, you know, people liked it the most. Okay. So there you have it. Just a punch list here of different editing software, hosting platform, analytical tools to help you level up your videos even further. I have one more example I want to share with you. This is Gonzalo. He is a realtor out in Florida, and he uses iMovie to edit all of his own videos. Okay, he used to have a guy who did videos, and he, you know, we talked about it, and he said, you know, I just wanted to learn it on my own. I love learning new technology. I think at the time he got a new laptop, and so he watched a couple of videos and learned, he mastered iMovie. So let's take a look at Gonzalo's intro video.
Hi, I'm Gonzalo Mejia, team leader of the Dream Home team here in Northeast Florida. We serve Duval, St. John's, and Clay County. I am also a real estate instructor and national and international speaker. Since 2004, I have enjoyed working with buyers and sellers, helping them achieve their goals. One of my most important objectives is for our customers to enjoy the process. I want you to have fun. So if you trust us with your business, you will also get a new friend. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Okay, so first of all, he's standing right by the window. The shade is down, but you could still see that natural light coming in. You might notice he does have a little lavalier mic. So right under his NAR badge there, he has a lav mic. So the sound is a little bit more clear versus him kind of screaming from the other side of the room, right? And then you might have also noticed, you should have noticed, let me kind of fast forward here.
Jones and Clay.
Oops, there it is, right there. So he created all of that text right in iMovie. And so we also saw the lower thirds. Let's pull that up here. So right there along the bottom, you see that lower third of his contact information. Such a small, subtle add-on to his video, but it really adds a punch, right? So again, this video is super short. Was it 32 seconds long? Being by the window with natural lighting, having his name float up from the bottom, the lower third with his contact information, it enhances the message of his video and makes it more memorable. Okay, so I wanted to bring to you an actual final video here that was created in an app like iMovie. All right, so I'm going to wrap up here. I think we went over quite a bit of strategies and tactics, enough for you to pick and choose from that's going to really help you to elevate your brand through storytelling. All you really need is one thing from my session to get started. So what will that one thing be? I would love to hear from all of you. Let us know that you're still here. What's the one thing that you took away from today that you're going to implement into your business, right? You got to make things happen for yourself. I intentionally shared a lot of different things, hopefully from starter to the most expert video creator here. And we can always continue to evolve and continue to make our strategies better over time. All right. So as you're all typing in here, I have a couple few things here to share. I have some additional resources, free resources for you. Please check out the Realtor.com Resource Center for Professionals. So this is a section on our Realtor.com website just for you, where you can read about lead gen tips. We have different articles and interviews from some of our top customers. So just go ahead and scan that QR code. You can find, you know, I do a webinar series for Realtor.com. You can find that in the Resource Center. So lots of great things. Please bookmark these. If you're always wondering what's Realtor.com up to, what do they have that can help me? This is it. Bookmark this page. There are some things in there I believe you can subscribe to. For some of you that are newer licensees, check out our Thrive Past 5 initiative. So it is a program that we created. It's an education program to help newer agents kind of thrive past the first few years of real estate. And then here's a quick slide about my webinar series. It's called the Results Series. And so if you like kind of this presentation style by me, please come and check us out on the support.realtor.com page. That's where all of our training is housed. And then if you go to the results series, that's the program that I produce here at realtor.com. And as I mentioned a minute ago, through your profiles, they're absolutely free. It's free for you to have a presence on realtor.com. You don't have to pay to be on our site. Okay, so we have, over 30 million unique viewers on the Find a Realtor section of our website, and we've given away millions of complimentary leads through that site. So if someone finds your profile on realtor.com and they reach out to you from your profile, that is a free lead from our site coming to you. Okay, that doesn't go back into your lead pool. We don't pull it back into connections. It's that lead belongs to you. So complete your profile, add your videos to it, and just be found on, just another portal in the real estate space that people are searching. And of course, if you're looking to level up in your business in other ways, lead gen, if you're looking for advertising solutions, if you just want to learn more how to enhance your listings or to work with more sellers, please visit us at realtor.com/marketing. You can see all of our products and solutions there. All right, that's all I got for you today. There's my contact information. Actually, I'm going to go through here real quick and see what was the one takeaway that y'all had from today. Some of you said the 7 sentences to becoming a master storyteller. Susan said, just making more videos. Absolutely. Just set a goal for yourself every week. You're going to create maybe 1 video per week, but you're going to post 2 videos on your Facebook or your Instagram. So really define those goals to ensure that you execute what it is you want to accomplish. John said shorter video and content. Yes, your videos don't have to be a whole movie. 2 minutes is just enough for any consumer of today to take in. People aren't watching long videos anymore, okay? All right, and if they are watching something longer, you better believe they're on another device and half of their attention is somewhere else anyway. Okay, so keep them short. Keep them short. YouTube Shorts was a takeaway for Elizabeth. Love that. Teresita said short but connecting with people. There you have it. Very good. All right. I think right on time, a couple minutes early. So thank you all so much for having me. I know there's some more announcements here from the team. But thank you all so much. I hope to hear from you or connect with you on social media somewhere.
Thank you so much, Angie. Wow, Angela, that was so much information to take in, but it was so good. We're going to be using it for ourselves here at the MLS as well. So thank you.
Right.
I did see one question from Angela asking, how long should videos be left up on YouTube? How long should reels and things and stories be left up?
So let's start with stories on Instagram and also on Facebook. You can do stories on your Facebook, right? Those automatically disappear in 24 hours. The whole premise behind stories is that you have 24 hours in a day. Here's a way for you to give little snippets of your day, and they just disappear after 24 hours. So it's very forgiving for those of you that are a little nervous on showing your face on camera. Stories is a really great way to start and just to be your authentic self because it disappears. Now for Reels and your YouTube Shorts, just keep them up there. Keep them up there. People are always going to be new to you and new to finding you. Don't delete them. Even if it's, you're talking about a market that's happening right now, 2 years from now, what you're trying to tell buyers might be different 2 years from now. Just keep it up there because it's showcasing your knowledge of the overall market. So I don't recommend ever deleting them. Keep it up there as a proof of production.
Fantastic. Angie, thank you so, so much. And you all have a chance to see Angie again in person. And I'm going to make our big announcement. First time we're announcing this to our members. So we have our MLS Summit coming up August 9th. And you can see the screen in front of you here. So please take a screenshot of that QR code so you can go to the Eventbrite website and take advantage of that early bird option until July 15th to get in for this great all-day event in person. You'll see Angie and many other national speakers sharing lots of good stuff. So please join that. And now I think you're all waiting for the last raffle draw. We have over 100 participants still with us. Thank you all. I hope you learned a lot. And we could not find Hugh Williams or Gina Valona on our participant list attending today. So in all fairness, we want you all to enjoy them. So Jorge is going to let us redraw. So we have 3 to draw.
All right. Right. Let's go ahead and take care of this. Let's do it. All right. So the first one will be for the $25 gift card. And the lucky winner is, come on, Sherry Jackson. All right.
Okay, now if Sherry can please use the wave your hand button. And I'm going to search for Sherry as well, see if she's here. We want to make sure it's somebody that's with us. I don't see Sherry. Okay, well, this just gives another chance for somebody new. Okay, who's the next lucky winner? Maria.
Okay, Maria Granados.
Okay, raise your hand, Maria, if you're here. I don't see her. Wow, we are getting down to the last 100 here.
All right, Tanya. Tanya, are you here?
No, not on the attendee list. Okay.
Wow. Jenny Kim.
Nope.
Camilla Anderson.
Yeah, the odds are definitely getting better and better for everybody here.
Okay.
Ah, I think we have a winner. Okay, so we will be sending you an email. We don't have a first name, just a first initial F. So Mr. or Mrs. Eslamihe, I'm sure I butchered your name, I apologize. But we will send you an email. And please contact us if you don't get an email in the next 24 hours, because with the limited information here, we want to make sure we're able to contact you and find the right contact information. Okay, so we finally got the $25 winner. Are you ready, Jorge, for the next one?
Let's go for the next one. $50. Let's see who the lucky winner is. All right, Patricia.
I think I see her on the attendee list. Go, Patricia.
There we go. Perfect. Congratulations. All right, and the final prize, which is $100. Let's see who's the lucky winner. All right, Ifra. Or is it Ifra? Okay.
Ah, looks like he's there. And I see a raised hand. Congratulations. We have
Congratulations. All
3
right.
winners. Okay, so everybody, thank you so much for joining. You 3 lucky winners, check your emails. Let us know in 24 hours if you don't hear back. Thanks to the 100+ people that stayed till the end. And don't forget, register for MLS Summit August 9th. It'll be a fantastic in-person event. Don't miss that early bird special by July 15th. Have a great day. Go sell some real estate. I still see some questions. So yes, we did record this, and yes, it will be sent to everybody, including Angie's fantastic video presentation. Okay, I think that's everything, everyone. Have a great day.